Hello everybody, today we will be talking about the rich and the poor. I know that I've been referring to economic pyramid in almost every video of mine, but today I'm going to be using this. Yes, I made an economic pyramid for you so that we can understand the whole thing in detail. So the point that I'm trying to make in this video is this, that there is no distinction between these two economic classes, the rich and the poor. So what I mean by that is that the rich and the poor, they both are greedy. So you cannot come to the conclusion that the rich are greedy and the poor are okay and good people. In fact, they both are responsible for maintaining the status quo. So it means that when you look at the statistics given to us by economists, by institutional organizations, and by other NGOs, they prove that the rich have been becoming richer and the poor are thrown further down into the poverty. Why has this been happening? It's not only because of the rich, because they maintain a control over the system. It's been happening also because of the poor, because the way they function in our society, and that's why they have not been able to bring themselves out of what we call poverty. Let's understand that. And when I say that the poor are responsible for their own economic situation, for their own suffering, I do not want to refer to the mainstream libertarian narrative that poor are poor because they are lazy. No, that's not the case. Poor are not poor because they are lazy. They are poor because they are greedy, as greedy, and maybe more greedy than the rich. And I'll explain that to you, but in order to understand that, you have to know about two concepts. And those concepts are fear and hope. I hope that you have seen the movie Hunger Games. Now, in the movie Hunger Games, President Snow is talking to his deputy, and he's talking about two things, fear and hope. And he says that fear is a very dangerous thing, but hope is more dangerous than that. And we have to apply these two concepts to our economic pyramid to understand that why our economic pyramid like this? Why is it not like this? Now, let me explain to you the difference between the two structures of our economic system. When economic system is like this, it means that only a few people can be at the top. But when economic system is like this, it means that everybody gets what they want and everybody is kind of economically satisfied. Now, the reason for having a structure like this, the mainstream narrative dictates that trickle-down economy works. It means that when you give the money to these people, the money will trickle down to the people who are down there. But according to various official statements issued by different organizations, it seems that trickle-down economy doesn't work. But if trickle-down economy doesn't work, it means that the money that you give to these people is not reaching to these people. Then why are those people still okay with the structure of the system like this? Why they do not want to do anything to make it like this? It's possible because those people who sit at the top, there are only a few and everybody else is there, right? The poor is the poor, the middle class, rich, richest. So that's why what stops everybody else here, and preferably here, from making the system into this, from this. Now, let us try to understand this, okay? This is the economic system. It has not been, point number one, this system has not been given to us by God, right? It has been designed by the policies of our governments and those people who control our governments. If you want to understand how some people control governments, you might want to look into my previous video, but just try to understand that this structure is created by everybody, not only by those people who stand at the top, but also by those people who are there in the economic pyramid. Now, when these people are the so-called oppressed classes when it comes to our economy, then why are they happy being here? It's because of two reasons. One is that they have the fear. It means that if they do not perform here, they will be thrown out of the system. And that is what keeps them running. So it means that they have to make their ends meet. And if they want to see the next day, they have to keep working here so that they can survive one more night. But that's fear. Now we come to the hope. Also, these people have been sold a dream. And these people have bought into that dream. Now, first, why they have been sold the dream and what that dream is. I call that dream an American dream. It means that those people who are here have been told that they have chance to reach the top. Now let us try to understand the dynamics of that dream. If you are here and you have bought into the dream, after the dream has been sold to you, you start working to acquire the dream. And the dream is that from here, you have to reach here. But by the time you reach here, you are already dead. And when you are dying, you sell the dream to your own kids. It means that you hand over the baton to them and they start running instead of you to achieve that dream. So by the time these people reach here, their life is over, and they do the same what their parents did to them. They will give the dream to their own kids, and these kids again will participate in the rat race, trying to hope that one day they will make it to the top. Now, listen to the most interesting part of the American dream, and that part is this, that anybody can be at the top, and everybody has that chance, but not everybody can be at the top. Because if everybody could be at the top, it means that the economic system would have looked like this, but it's not like this. So everybody wants to be at the top, but it's only few people that will be allowed to be at the top. Now, one more interesting aspect of this dream is this, or the economic system is this, that even if some people from here, they manage to go all the way to the top and topple the people who are already present at the top and acquire that place, it means that the people who were at the top before them, they will have to go down. So the system, the structure is flawed. It means that it will allow only a few people to be at the top. That's why I keep telling my audience that it's never about the rich and the poor. Because any Tom, Dick, and Harry can be at the top, but at the same time, they will not be able to change the system. So getting back to the fear and hope again. So people who are here, they keep working here because they fear that if they do not work in this scenario, they will be thrown out. That's the fear. And when the fear is being applied, they are looking forward to the hope that one day they will reach here, which will never happen. Okay? Now, if these people are so oppressed that their fear is making their lives more miserable, why don't they try and work hard so as to make the system into this? Now, there is a big problem. Fear might be the most important thing in our lives, but hope is a bigger force than that. It means that instead of having the hope that they will be able to live in that kind of scenario where everybody will be kind of equal, they prefer to have this lucrative dream or lucrative hope that no matter whether they will be able to achieve or not, but at least they want to try to achieve that. So whatever they have in their hands, that is a miserable life where they are suffering and they are being oppressed by everybody at the top. They would want to be in that kind of scenario at the same time looking there. So it's like a drug. It becomes like a drug. It's like you keep looking there, but you still keep running in that rat wheel. So those rats who are running in rat wheel, they think that they are running ahead in life because they are looking at the cheese that is hanging in front of them. But they forget when they are too busy doing it that they will never be able to get that cheese. So that's why our system is like this and not like this. That's why more than these people ought to be blamed for not making the structure of our economy from this into this. And not many people understand this. Why? Now, the reason for that is this, that people do not want to talk about ideology. They want to keep talking about people because people need a scapegoat. They need somebody or something to blame. And that's why the poor keep on blaming the rich and the rich keep blaming the poor. And that's how it goes on happening. And that's why the system never changes, which everybody really wants to, but they do not have the tools to understand it that way. Now, before I go, one more interesting aspect of the whole scenario. And this is kind of very weird, so let's try to understand that. Many times people ask me this question that, what if you are here and you make it all the way to the top? And when you were struggling here, you would learn so many things that when you are poor, your life is miserable, you are suffering all the time. And that's why you have an incentive when you reach the top to be able to change the system from this into this so that everybody is happy. Now, my answer is this, that by the way, it has two aspects. One is this, that when you are here and you are trying to make it to the top, you cannot play by your own rules and principles. It means that if you are a good person, you cannot reach the top by following those rules and principles. You have to abide by the rules that have been given to you by the economic structure. If you play by your own rules, you will not be allowed to work here. It's not only that you will be all the time stuck here. You will be thrown out of the system completely. And whenever you are out of the system, you can forget about reaching from here till here. And that's why you have to cover this journey following the principles, the rules that the system gives to you. The other scenario is this, that you have followed the rules of the system and you make it from here to here. And once you're on the top, you realize that the situation here is not worth living. And that's why you want to change the system from this into this, so that everybody can be happy and get what they want, at least what they need. But you will not be able to do that, because the moment you try to change the rules of the game is still the same, but if you bring in some other rules, then the system will make you go down the drain, or it will topple you over. And that's why you will not be able to achieve it. And one more thing, the situation, the position, this position on the top of the economic pyramid is so much lucrative that you do not want to ever lose it. And that's why most of the people who have been struggling all their lives, the moment they reach here, they forget about changing the system, because they prefer to live here and not somewhere here where everybody is kind of equal. So that's why nobody pays attention to the fact that things could be changed, because they are too much narrow minded and they never want to think beyond the system. So it's like being a frog in a well, that you never want to look outside it. And it's not their fault, it's the way they have been learning things, it's the way they have been conditioned by the society. It takes too much courage to be able to think outside the system, and nobody's ready to do that. So finally, I want to reiterate the same point, that the poor are responsible for the status quo. They are the reason why we cannot change things, because they are living that dream, they have bought into that dream. Their hopes are too big to fail. They will fail anyway, but they want to live their lives thinking that they will be able to realize the dream. They will never be able to realize it, but it's that's how it works. Thank you so much.